Hello, Uggies Worldwide. I'm Dave Kassler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, here with another episode of Ask Dave. Today's question comes from Ted. Just Ted, no call sign, no last name. He said that I reviewed and discussed a fan vertical, which was the DX Commander. I'm wondering, do you know anything about, can you discuss the Flagpole antenna that is also in the marketplace? There are a number of them and many models. Is that a fan vertical? I don't think so. Don't know how much to believe the company's advertising, and those units are noticeably more expensive than the DX Commander. The flagpole antennas, if they are used as a simple vertical, are operated with a radial set of radials that usually go out right buried just below the lawn. If you set out the radials with lawn staples, eventually the grass will grow over them. You can actually mow right over them and it won't create a problem. Now, you will need to put a remote tuner at the base of the antenna because the impedance can be so far off that you need a tuner right there. And that will be pretty low loss. Where you lose power when you have big impedance mismatches is when there's coax between the tuner and the antenna, and it tosses the energy back and forth, and it loses a little in the resistance of the coax every so far. So that is how you can do it, and that does work. Now, Gray Line Performance, which is and it's Grey, the British spelling, does produce a number of antennas. Now, these are compromise antennas, and the compromise is you compromise on some performance to maximize either your wife's or your HOA's approval, okay? Because no HOA is going to disapprove a flagpole. So these are functional flagpoles. You can fly flags from them, presumably the American flag, or if you're in Canada, the Canadian flag, or UK, or wherever you might be. Now, the DX Commander fan vertical, that's the classic DX Commander, is a perfectly fine antenna. It'll work 10 through 40. It might even be a 6 meter on it. I'm not sure. I've got one in the backyard, but it's not up right now. It's a good functional antenna. It needs radials and a fair number of them. Now, the same caveat applies to the radials. You can put the radials down so that the lawn will grow over them. Where I live, our landscaping is supposed to be left natural, and it is. You know, it just breaks my heart that I don't have to mow the lawn every week. But I did set it up, and my main vertical, the grass brush, everything like that, has already grown over most of the verticals, has already grown over most of the radials. Now, the DX Commander is black. It's quite flexible. It needs to be guyed. There's nothing on the bottom. It's got a flat bottom. It's really designed for portable use. Now, when you set the thing up, if you're going to kind of leave it there, it will need to be guyed. Now, guying makes an antenna more visible. If you use black guys or dark gray guys, you're in better shape. The antenna itself is black. Not terribly noticeable, but an HOA might have an issue with it. Can you set it up without guys? No, I don't think so. It's too flexible. And the flagpole antennas are put into concrete, and they don't need any guys. I've never seen a flagpole with guys. They're basically a self-standing tower, and will stay up, but you're going to have a lot more work to do on a foundation for it. Plus, you need that remote tuner, so there's several $100s for each of those before you even mount the antenna. Whereas for that several $100s, you could get yourself a DX Commander Classic, and if you need to, with the guides on it, if you pick up the bottom an inch or so and bring it out to the side, it'll come down onto the ground so that nobody who isn't looking directly over your fence can see it. So that's a good way of hiding it, and then you just kind of put it back up again when you want to use it. And I will tell you that most hams' experience is, well, I'll use the example of a crank-up tower. The idea of a crank-up tower is during the day you can crank the tower down so it's not very visible. And this ham cranked his tower up when he was going to use it, and then over a period of months cranked it down less and less and less each night until it was standing all the way up all the time. He got 0 comments because nobody noticed the subtle change over a period of time. And you can probably do that with the DX Commander too. The DX Commander is a fine antenna. You need to tune every band slightly separately. It works as good as any vertical because it actually is a standard vertical. So I have heard good reviews of the DX Commander. In my third DX Commander video, I gave it a good review. The first 2 videos were about the manual, but in the third one, we took a look at the antenna. It's a fine antenna. All right, so there you have it. Those of you watching this far may want to support this channel. If you do, go to patreon.com/KE0OG and pick a method that works for you. Until we next meet, 73.